there's a lot to say about that. I think it's been really, really good. Obviously, it's not, you know, we're not satisfied. I don't think anyone's satisfied with, oh, this is where we're comfortable at. I think the amount of representation for Asian Americans in media is a lot better than it was 10 years ago. Like, it boggles my mind to think that, like, my nephew or like our little cousins are growing up and they're like, oh yeah, there's 3 Asian American families on TV. Yeah, that's just a thing, right? And there's an Asian American basketball player. Yeah, right? Like, that's just normal, right? Like, I'm like, no, that's not normal. Like, are you kidding me? So it is great that we have had that progress, but I think that there's a lot more left to do. And but I think the beauty is that we are growing up and we're in a time right now where, what does that sound mean? Oh yeah, going on too long. That technology, you know, is changing the way the industry works, so that we don't have to wait on the way it was traditionally before. It was like, oh gosh, I hope this one pilot gets cleared by the studios and then we can have that show. Like now, YouTube is just like, people are growing up with watching more YouTube than TV. So it's like, maybe this is actually more important and we are in full control of that. And I've always said, like, you know, instead of waiting for Hollywood, we didn't want to wait. So we're just going to do it ourselves and do our best to represent Asian Americans the best way that we can.
I think a lot of the progress that we can be so proud of depends on support from the community, which is kind of like the double, or the other side of the coin for that question. Because the progress won't be there unless, you know, people like you support, you know, those movies and those actors, writers, everyone that's trying to pursue within the entertainment industry, whatever field they're in. If we're not supporting what they're doing, then they're not going to be able to rise to the occasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's 2 parts to it where there needs to be more creators. To be honest, like there's not enough Asian American actors, filmmakers, producers, directors, writers out there, musicians going for it, and that makes sense. I mean, I'm not saying like it's because we're not raised to think that is what we should do. You know, like our parents don't raise families to go after that. We're raised to be competitive with each other and not build each other up. You know, Mr. Chen's son got an A, where are you at? You know, like, so that needs to change. There needs to be more people going for it, and then there also needs to be more support for it. So if you're not going to go into the arts, which is totally fine, if you want to go be a pharmacist or an accountant or whatever, that's great. But don't forget that it's important to support people that are, because I think with Asian Americans, sometimes I feel like culturally, we're kind of condescending towards people that go for the arts. We're like, oh, you're not going to go for that stable, you know, eye-baking job, like, you know, so I think maybe we should not do that, I guess.
Or there's always like a sense of like doubt, or like, oh, okay, or you know, like, and I think, you know, whoever's going into the arts, they're already like scared out of their mind. So the last thing they need is like the people around them to be like, oh, that's nice.
Imagine if your friend was going to med school and you're like, are you sure you want to be a doctor? You sure you want to do law school? Like, no one does that, right? They're like, wow, that's awesome. You know, like, they would say congratulations, right? So, yeah, I think that it'd be nice if that was reciprocated both ways.
I just want to say that's a lot of the reason why our movie, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, our movie is so important, but we made it a point to cast all Asians, because it's really rare to get, especially a male Asian lead in a romantic lead role, you know? And I think we're fortunate enough to be in a position to create roles like that and have a great fan base who will come out and watch that and support that. And in doing so, we hope to create like more roles for that, and then create more opportunities for, if you guys want to be screenwriters or directors or anything in the art, we want to be able to be, you know, long in the future, as I see it, a company, a hub for you creative minds, you know? So in the future, we will have other people or parents being like, what are you gonna do? Are you serious? You're gonna do that? They're gonna be like, cool, you're working for Wong Productions? Like, good for you, you know? So, yeah, I think it's like, that's kind of, regardless of what you feel about the movie, that's behind the scenes, like, mentally our company, that's what we're trying to do.